I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Barricade flat style fender flare kit fitting all 1997 to 2006 TJs. There are really two main options when looking at aftermarket fender flares, and those are metal flares and plastic flares. And there are a couple of different schools of thought about those. Some people would say that a metal flare will hold up better to rubbing against trees and other off-road obstacles, while other people say that a metal flare will transfer any impact into the body of the Jeep, causing a much more expensive repair, where a plastic flare would bend or break, which would be cheaper and easier to swap out. So it really comes down to what you want and what your thought process is when it comes to fender flares. However, if you're looking for an aftermarket set of fender flares that are a flat style flare and are ABS plastic, these are a nice option to take a look at because they fit well and they're less expensive than other flares of a similar style. These flares are made of a thermomolded dual layer ABS, which means they're going to be shatterproof and they're going to hold up really well out in the elements to UV light that would otherwise fade the flares. These come with everything from the weather stripping to the lights that you'll need to get them installed, as well as all new mounting hardware. Now, even though these are designed to mount on the Jeep without drilling any holes in the Jeep, you will have to drill a couple of holes in the flares to finish the installation. Now, Jeep did a really nice job of making the metal wheel arch in the fender really high, giving you lots of room for articulation and the ability to run a minimum amount of bump stop, assuming your shocks allow for it. However, the factory fender flares do hang down a little bit. So depending on the width of your tire and the back spacing of your wheel, the tire may contact the flare. A flat flare like this will take care of that. However, because you're not contacting anything that's a hard surface like that metal wheel arch, these aren't going to add a ton of articulation. These are mainly designed to open up the wheel well and give the Jeep more of an aggressive look. Like I said before, these are designed to mount on the Jeep without the need to drill the body. The couple of holes that you'll have to drill in the flares to finish the installation are to install the marker lights and to install the mini rocker guard flare that comes on the Jeep from the factory. It's just a matter of using the new hardware that came with the kit to install the new flares onto the Jeep and do a little bit of wiring to get your lights working. The whole process should take right around 3 hours and you won't need any specialty tools to get it done. The factory flares do mount on the Jeep with some nut certs that are in the fenders. And if your Jeep is like mine and has a little bit of rust on it, when you go to remove those bolts, some of the nut certs can spin. In order to fix that, you can try drilling them out or holding them from the backside if you have access, but that is one area that can make the installation a little bit more difficult. I would definitely recommend spraying all of those nut certs with a good penetrating oil. If you have a little bit of rust on your Jeep, it'll make the installation process that much easier. These flares are right around $100 cheaper than the top quality flare that's a really similar design. Now, the lights might be a little bit different, the molds might not be quite as finished, but it really comes down to your budget and what you want for your Jeep. If you're somebody who does a lot of wheeling on tight trails and you know that you're going to be rubbing these on trees and other obstacles, and chances are they're not going to last all that long, save your money and go with this set. If you're somebody who spends more time on the road and is looking for that fit and finish and has the extra budget for it, maybe you take a look at one of the more expensive options. So if you're looking for a plastic flat fender flare kit that includes everything you need to get it installed, including the lights, and you're looking to save a couple of dollars over the top tier fender flares on the market, this is a really nice option to take a look at. So that's my review of the Barricade flat style fender flare kit fitting all 1997 to 2006 TJs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.